Welcome, 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 everybody. It is noon p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, or whatever time it happens to be where you are because you are watching us right now. It is Sunday, April 26th, and it is time for The Master's Mind. And I appreciate you joining me today. Of course, one of the first things that we do need to get out of the way and do, very important, is we have a birthday celebration today in Melody Ryba. So today it is her birthday, and for those of us that are with our cameras on, I want, let's do our usual tradition, okay? Where we sing whoever has their birthday today, happy birthday. So I'm going to ask all of you to go ahead and unmute. I think I sent that to everybody. There we go. Ask everyone to unmute. So on the count of three, we're singing happy birthday to Melody Ryba. All right, ready? One, two, three. Happy
Happy
birthday
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 to
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 you.
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 Happy
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 birthday
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 to
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 you.
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 Happy
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 birthday,
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 dear
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 Melody.
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 Happy
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 birthday
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 to
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 you.
you.
you. Wow, wow, wow,
Oh,
wow, wow,
happy
wow, wow, wow,
birthday,
wow, wow, wow.
Melody. What
Well,
happened?
Happy
We
birthday,
kind of,
Melody.
everybody goes slow. We get
I
slower every
know.
time.
That was
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that was the
bless
slower one. That's
you.
okay.
Thank you
Well,
so much. It was a wonderful, wonderful treat. I love each and every one of you.
Melody,
We
thank
love you,
you.
Melody.
We are definitely blessed to have you with us, and very, very grateful too. So may today be a
We
very
all have to be
blessed
grateful for.
birthday.
Thank you. I'm going to go back to my party. Love you all.
Love you. All right.
Bye.
Okay. So, um, thank you again, everybody, for helping Melody celebrate her birthday, and of course for being here because today is the Master's Mind. And Robert is in Colombia for at least another day, maybe two. We don't know if he'll be with us tomorrow. I know he's coming in tonight, um, but it may be a little late. And since we do our 9 a.m. in the morning, we'll see. Um, so one thing I wanted to share with everybody as part of today's Master's Mind was something I came across, and I'll share the image with you in just a moment. But it was really interesting to take this and make it as part of today's connection with the Master's Mind. And I hope don't mind my indulging in this topic with you. Different paths, same principles. So we all know there are thousands of belief systems out there, and at least in our world. Beyond Earth, who knows? We don't know that yet. But there are different religions, different cultures, different traditions, different languages, rituals, histories. But here's what's interesting. They all keep landing kind of in the same place. Now, whatever it is that you believe, you know, core ideas hold what we are together. Some may be different than others. We have, based on religion, we've got Christianity, Judaism, Islam. We've got some others like Buddhism and Hinduism. There's native traditions, Stoicism, and actually, personal development can be considered part of this same idea, but different path, but the same principles there. Same core ways of living, completely different paths. Some principles overall, however you want to look at it. Respect others. That's pretty good across all beliefs. Telling the truth, taking responsibility, practicing gratitude, and staying connected to something bigger, whatever that happens to be to you. Now, are these just beliefs? Or are they principles people discovered over time? Think about it. For example, the Bible, the Old and New Testaments, are collections of texts written over many centuries. Old Testament earliest writings are about 1200 to 1000 BCE, however you decide on whether that's before the Common Era, before the Christian era, however you decide on that, BC, BCE. The New Testament, roughly 50 to 100 years AD, Anno Domini, CE, Common Era, after that zero spot. And final versions of all of the Testaments were shaped and compiled over time. The Quran, same thing, compiled shortly after the Prophet Muhammad's death, somewhere between 632 and 650 AD. Buddhism, now we're going to take Buddhism and Hinduism a little differently, because Buddhism is based on the teachings of Siddhartha Gautama, who is considered the Buddha. Lived around the 5th or 4th century before the Common Era. Though it doesn't have a single book, it's more like a library of teachings that grew over time. And they've been passed down through the many centuries. Hinduism, considered to be one of the oldest of the major religions, started with teachings passed down orally, similar to Buddhism, with no single real starting point or author known, and texts spanning over 2,000 years. Now, why do I bring all of this up? Well, I came across a post, and I'm going to share this with you, recently, and it's interesting how beliefs, living with each other, and things like that, there are a lot of commonalities. Now, what I'm sharing with you is what I saw the other day, the 10 Indian commandments. Now, there's some really interesting things here. Now, it's not official doctrine, I will say that. Not official at all. But what's really interesting is, okay, the Native American Indians really didn't have any kind of, I don't know how you would say it, Christian, Jewish, Islam, Buddhist, Hindu influences. But yet there was kind of a code that they had. And it's a reflection of lived values. Listen to this. Some of the items to think about. Speaking the truth. Take only what you need. Honor all relations. Again, different cultures, completely different origins, yet it's pointing to the same way of living. Living our lives, whatever community we're in, to the best that we can, given how we were raised, what our culture is, and what our influences have been and are. Some of the things that come up a lot in all of these different concepts. Loving your neighbor as yourself. We'll just take that because that one's definitely part that's very important in the Christian Judeo religions. And actually everywhere else. Compassion, that's actually part of Buddhism. All life is sacred. Well, we saw that in the 10 Indian Commandments, but when you think about it, all religions teach that. All beliefs teach that our life right now is sacred. Harmony, that's important too. Different words, same principle. Some of the other proofs. Let's talk about truth for a little bit. Oh, and by the way, hello, Shelley. Hello, Faith. Can I talk about where you found this? It was somewhere on the internet, and that I found the 10 Indian Commandments. But yeah, I'll post that up in the chats later. So definitely will. Thank you, Deborah. Appreciate that. So part of the truths with regards to all of this: speak truth, live honestly, and align with reality, whatever your reality is. If you distort the truth, then things break. I think that's pretty obvious with regardless of how you believe. At least so there's also responsibility. What do I mean by responsibility? Well, what is one of the things? Don't steal. Don't harm. Look at all sides, look at the sides of the issue and come to a center agreement, middle path, balance. What's the balance that you need to maintain? That's part of the responsibility. One that we mentioned a little bit ago. Take only what you need. And master yourself. We talked about that the other day. We talked about that on Friday's Daily Wisdom. And as long as you master yourself and you continue to do things on a regular basis and build yourself up, awesome. But when you don't have any kind of discipline, what happens? Chaos. The more you are disciplined, the better things come. It may not happen right away, but remember what we always like to teach. Get gooder and gooder, 1% every single day, and you'll be 365% gooder by the end of a year. The other thing that we like to share here, and especially Robert, what he says, is gratitude and connection with people. Give thanks daily to whomever. Even if it's a small little thing, say thank you. Feels good. Prayer, reflection, meditation. Take the time, again, for yourself. Connection to nature. We talked about that too. Going out, closing your mouth, opening your ears, listening to what's around you. And I'm going to honestly say that sometimes nature not just includes going out into the forest or anywhere else, but just sitting down and watching things happen. Yes, exactly, Shelley. Self is very important. Just watching things happen, taking in what is around you, stopping what you're doing to think about what is happening. Gratitude is equal to alignment. Don't you feel better when you're in alignment? Don't you feel better when you're in gratitude of where you are and what you have? You may not have everything you want at the moment, but be grateful for what you have. That's important. Now, some real-world applications regarding this. If you break respect, what's going to happen? Relationships suffer. If you ignore the truth, trust collapse. If you avoid responsibility, your life drifts. And we've talked about drifting before in our series of Outwitting the Devil, which, by the way, if you haven't, go there and watch that series. If you go in the Unlimited Wisdom classroom or Zoom school, and you click on classrooms and then you click right on the top row, it says Outwitting the Devil. The entire series that we went through, 13 weeks, are right there. And it is definitely something that you should watch, listen to, and think about. And, if you do lose gratitude, what happens? Nothing feels like enough. So it's an interesting concept because I was thinking about when it's out of alignment. We always like to use the word alignment, or especially with the law of attraction. We're not quite in alignment. Things don't quite together. But if you if you get into alignment with what it is that you want and what you do, things are going to become easier to you. Now, we were talking about these principles earlier, and it's an interesting thing because I did put it into AI, and it says you don't break these principles. You experience the result of breaking them. Now, why do I say you experience the result? Well, if something doesn't feel right, especially when it comes to following these commandments, these principles, you kind of feel out of sort. Your experience is off. And we want to make sure that we are in alignment because life is an experience. It may throw us a few curves, it may throw us a few speed bumps in the process, but all in all, if we are in alignment, we follow the principles, the things, the teachings that we have gained over our years with our culture, with the way that we were raised, we will really be in a good position to live our lives in a positive way. So I'm not trying to say, go about choosing religion. You've already chosen what you believe. But it's also being tolerant of other people's beliefs, but recognizing patterns that have been, that have been given to us, or I should say, patterns that have existed throughout the human lifetime, and how we live with them, how we change with them, deciding how to live within the beliefs that you've been raised with. And when I say not only you, but the community at large. We were obviously raised differently here in the United States than England, than Europe, than South America, than Africa, than the Middle East, than the Far East. So get yourself into an alignment. I think the final question that I want to share with everybody, something for you to think about on this Master's Mind, is if you feel that you are out of alignment, where are you out of alignment? Right now, where are you? And where are you in or out of alignment? If you're out of alignment, let's get back into alignment. And when is the best place to start? Right now. Start where you are out of alignment and work on that. So I hope this message helped. And just wanted to share a little bit here. Again, as I said earlier, I don't know if Robert is going to be back tomorrow. He should be able to be definitely back on Tuesday, but he's flying in late tonight. That's the reason why I don't know if he'll be with us at recess tomorrow. I hope so, but we'll find out soon enough. If I'm going to ask that, if anybody has something to share, being that this is a master's mind, and we're all masters. If you'd like to share a little something, feel free to raise your hand. You can put your cursor in the middle of the screen here and put raise hand or click on the raise hand button down at the bottom, and you can share something. If not, then we'll go ahead and call it a Sunday. Nope. I guess okay. Then thank you so very much for allowing me to share a little something for today's mastermind. And look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern for recess. And then, of course, the usual rest of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Daily Wisdom at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. Breakthroughs on Thursday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. Next Saturday, Ask Us Anything, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. And then we're back again next Sunday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern with another Master's Mind. Thank you all so very, very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. Until then, please be good to yourselves. Be cash. Bye-bye. I'm going to go ahead and click the unmute button so we can all say so long and have a super, super Sunday.
Bye, guys.
Great Sunday, everyone.
Take
Take
it
care.
easy, everyone. Thank you so very, very much.